it's starting to get a bit more overcast again. We had quite a lot of rain during the course of the men's under-23 race. There are 8 athletes to watch. Susan Krummins, Jip Vasterberg from the host nation, the Netherlands. 2-time defending champion, Yasmin Khan. Haven't seen much of Khan this year. She ran a very low-key race in Kenya, where she was born. She spends a lot of her time still there. 3-time bronze medalist, Caroline Bjørkli Grovdal. Well, Norway are already having a terrific championship, so I wonder if she can carry on the stream of medals going to Norway. Look at that magnificent lake in the centre there. Hardly a ripple at the moment. The wind has died down, the rain has stayed off. So just like with the men's under-23 race, 8,300 metres, 1 short lap to start with, 4 long laps of 1.5 kilometres, and then 1 final lap of 1,300 metres to finish it off. 6 laps in total of varying length. In this race, 72 entrants from 20 different countries. So we've got 5 of last year's top 10 returning. 2 of them medalists, Kaan Chan from Turkey and Bjørkli Grovdal of Norway. There's Fabienne Schlumpf, silver medalist in Berlin this summer in the 3,000 metre steeplechase. Usually brings a big fan club with her. Might see more of them shortly. There's Caroline Grovdal. Well, she's got a whole host of medals. She was a super talented teenage runner, winning European steeplechase titles in the under-20 and under-23 ranks. There's the trio of Belgians, including Nina Lauwert, 30-year-old Belgian number 1. Well, getting a big shout out for the neighbours, Imana Troyers. And possibly the best chance for medals for the host country, Jip Vastenberg. One of 3 very good runners. You can see alongside Susan Krummins. Won medals in the junior ranks. Under-20 and under-23 medalist in times gone past. Looking as though she's feeling the cold a little bit. Yasmin Chan. Doesn't look at all happy, does Chan, does she, really?
No, it must be quite a transition for her to make from her training base to here.
Well, she prospered in very cold conditions in Slovakia last year, but they were crisp and dry underfoot. It's very muddy now. We've had 4 races cutting up the course, and we've had rain during the course of the morning and the early part of this afternoon. There's Maureen Costa. Also in this race, we see here Elena Burkhardt, finished 5th last year, has had a very good winter so far. The Germans are quietly optimistic that she can follow in the footsteps of Anna Gering and perhaps get on the medal podium as well. But Yasmin Chan, a very hard act to follow. She's really dominated the last 2 European cross-country championships.
I really think Elena Burkhardt, who's leading now, is one to watch, because she was an unheralded 5th place last year in Chamarin. I don't think anybody expected her to do well, and now there's a bit more expectation, but she's improved. She did a personal best at the steeplechase in Berlin, and she's won some big races since then.
So Burkhardt leading the way as we go along the lake for the first time. Alongside of the pole, Alexandra Brezniaka. Susan Crummins just behind her, so too Carolina Björkli-Grovdal. Very tall figure of Fabienne Schlumpf up there as well. So all the main protagonists there. Rather more diminutive figure of Trijas Gebre of Spain. Roxana Barca, who finished 4th last year, also up there as well. So we've got quite a lot of the leading finishers from last year's race who've come back. Yasmin Chan in that long sleeve thermal top, starting to warm up a little bit. Seasonal theme there from Anna Gosch wearing a Father Christmas hat. Not sure that's going to stay on the entire race.
Well, there's a Belgian athlete called Peter Claus in one of the races. I'm not sure if you've seen him or not, but somebody should give him a hat like that as well, I think.
Well, can't avoid the festive theme as we're this close to Christmas. Also up there in the leading pack, Melissa Courtney, the very good Briton. Bronze medalist at the Commonwealth Games over 1,500 metres back in April. So she's had a very long year of racing. As Schlumpf takes the lead, followed by Elena Burkhardt, Susan Crummins. That's the 1, 2, 3 at this early stage of the race. Schlumpf pushing quite hard at this stage. With only 70 runners, this race is a little bit less congested than some of the under-20, under-23 races we've seen earlier in the day. So a 3:22 first kilometre. Yasmin Chan, arms flailing out on the left-hand side of your screen, the right-hand side of the course. I mentioned there in 10th place, you can just see her, and she's now got on to the back of the leading pack, Jess Piasecki. Some of you will know her as Jess Coulson before she was married. The Nottingham University lecturer won the under-23 race back in 2012, and back after some illness and injury issues that have bedeviled her over the last few years, but now very much back in the fray, hoping to get amongst perhaps the team medals. And now Yasmin Chan, familiar face at the front. Susan Crummins, as we mentioned, had won medals at this event in the past in the under-20 and under-23 ranks, but was also the silver medalist in Berlin over 10,000 metres, 10 laps of the track. Just a few months ago.
We've seen this before from Yasmin Chan. She breaks away or tries to break away, gets a gap, and then just holds the lead. Doesn't run any quicker once she's got away. We all wonder if somebody can close the gap, and they haven't been able to do that.
No, she wasn't fully fit during the summer. I think she finished back in 6th in the 10,000 metres when she was defending her title. But I've been talking to people close to her, and they've been saying that since September, she's only just come over to Europe in the last few days, that she's actually been training very, very well in Kenya. And she does look comfortable, as you say. This is a very familiar position. And even though these are probably conditions which she would prefer to be slightly different, she really is a runner for all services.
Yes, she was. She did get the bronze medal in the 5,000 metres in Berlin, Phil. But as you can remember, she was quite fortuitous to get that because one of the runners ahead of her went a lap too early, and she was able to reel her in, Lorna Salpeter of Israel. But she's done her usual thing, which is quite a low-key race at her training base in Kenya, a cross-country race, nothing special. But what was more significant, I thought, that she did a personal best for 15k in Turkey. A lot of the Turkish athletes prepare for this race with a 15k race in Istanbul. She did a personal best. She's run a lot quicker than she did last year or the year before, when she then went on to win this title.
tends to bear out the comments that I've been hearing, that she has actually been training very, very well. And already she's really starting to dominate this race and put a couple of metres between herself and Susan Crummins. Right. Chan, Crummins, Björkli Grovdal. That's the 1, 2, 3 at the moment. Followed by Schlumpf of Switzerland in 4th place.
And I'm sure Susan Crummins is not wanting that gap to get too big. She knows she can beat Chan. She did in the 10,000 metres in Berlin.
Yes, it's very much a confidence thing, because since 2016 many people thought that Chan was unbeatable. I mean, she got a double in Amsterdam, and then she's gone on to win 2 successive European cross-country titles. But that defeat in the 10,000 metres, and as you say, picking up a bronze in the 5s, has shown that she's not indestructible and not unbeatable. And I think that's probably given some of the other European runners just that little bit of confidence. She's still obviously a very, very good athlete, but somebody like Susan Crummins probably just gives her a little bit more motivation. And they're in 3rd place. Has finished 3rd in the last 3 European cross-country championships, and I'm sure she'd love to beat that streak by moving up a place or maybe 2. Carolina Björkli Grovdal, Norway. So it's Schlumpf, the Swiss athlete, moving out wide in 4th, taking the short way around the bend, with Chan taking very much the long way round. 5th, Melissa Courtney at the moment, and 6th, Elena Burkhardt, as they go through your picture. Having a good run at this stage. Jess Piasecki in 7th place.
So that's 6 different countries represented in the first 6 runners.
As you can see there, in 10th place with the long shot, Jit Vasterberg. So the Dutch runners doing well in front of their friends and family. Be assured that all of them have got a lot of support out there in the crowd. Well, we're about 2.5 kilometres into this race. Not quite a third of the way into the race just yet. Yasmin Chan starting to run away now. Fabienne Schlumpf, after looking as though she was getting dropped just very slightly, is now back on the tail of Caroline Björkli Grovdal. Susan Crummins still at the front of that chasing pack, but it's Yasmin Chan hopping over the logs, and 20 metres in the lead at the moment, 25 metres. Followed by Susan Crummins, Fabienne Schlumpf and Caroline Björkli Grovdal.
Romania en in 8th place Team Belgium. En dan wisten we natuurlijk bij het opdoen van het applaus van de Nederlandse ploeg.
I have to say, it's a slightly ungainly running style that Chan has. Her right arm just seems to be almost clenched, while her left arm just flails around a little bit.
Yeah, she doesn't look very comfortable, but it's the legs that are doing the work rather than the arms, I think.
Yes.
We see Fabienne Schlumpf in 2nd place, Susan Crummins in 3rd place, and in 1st place the reigning European champion Yasmin Chan.
Well, it's interesting just watching Schlumpf. Schlumpf seems to be very good at picking a way around the course. She's obviously thought about how to find a way and get the dry parts of the course.
Melissa Courtney there you see going through with Burkhardt. She did win a gold medal last year in the mixed relay. She ran the first leg for Britain.
And at the moment, with 3 runners in the top 11, I think it's the Netherlands who are leading the team standings. So that would be a real turn-up if we know they've got a strong team, but I don't think we were looking at them as gold medal favourites. But the Netherlands at the moment in pole position as the sun comes out. There you see it. A few rays of sunshine just coming through the trees. As Yasmin Chan still leads the way. Well, the gap isn't growing just yet. Chan really working very hard at the front, but Schlumpf, Crummins and Björkli Grovdal sticking to their task, not letting her get out of sight.
And still the ladies are in the race.
Quite a long way back, though, after the chasing pack of three to the women behind her.
And you were talking about vests earlier, Phil. Did you notice the Norwegian women have completely different vests to the men?
It hadn't crossed my mind, I'll be perfectly honest, but now you mention it, of course, yes.
It doesn't make any difference because they're all wearing the same vest in the same race, but it is quite strange that the men are blue and the women are red.
Well, Yasmin Chan, if anything, the gap has very, very slightly narrowed. It's probably down to about 20 metres, having extended at one point to close to 30 as they swing around this bend with 4 laps to go. So Yasmin Chan has got a 3-second advantage, as you can see on your screen, over Fabienne Schlumpf, Susan Crummins and Caroline Björkli Grovdal. There's Maureen Costa and Jess Piasecki going through your screen. Kate Avery there in about 15th place, the British team captain, 2-time silver medalist.
Well, there's nothing wrong with what Yasmin Chan is doing, but we're used to seeing her a little bit further ahead at this point in her in the years that she's won this race. That lap was slightly slower for her, so the first of the long 1,500-metre laps was 4:33 by her, and the second one we've just seen 4:36.
Well, the former European champion, you just saw the result there. Sophie Duarte going through in about 35th position. French woman who won back in 2013. Almost going off course there, Chan, but managing to right herself in time.
I was wondering about that part of the course, Phil, because they go very, very near to the water, and one misstep could be quite catastrophic, but happily that hasn't happened.
Well, this is a wildlife park. I hope there's no crocodiles in there.
No.
But it's still the Netherlands leading the way in the team competition. Well, probably a good moment to actually have a look and see when the Netherlands have actually won the women's team competition in the past. I'm pretty sure they haven't. Well, that gap is definitely narrowing between Yasmin Chan and Fabienne Schlumpf. Schlumpf starting to crawl back the deficit. They wind their way around the Beeksebergen Wildlife Park. This is Elena Burkhardt in 5th place, the position she finished in last year's championship. Oh, just look at that now. Schlumpf is really starting to catch Chan with almost every stride. Tall Swiss athlete eating up the ground on the much more diminutive Turk. But it's still very, very tricky going underfoot. You can see that both runners are really just still very careful about their strides. Just picking their way around this extremely muddy course.
She's closing the gap from Switzerland. She's closing the gap with Yasmin Chan, defending European cross-country champion. of last year. We are searching today for another European cross-country champion. Schlumpf and Jasmin Schlumpf almost together.
Well, Schlumpf just noticed that she did actually come here and win 2 weeks ago in Tilburg, so she's familiar with this course. She'll know all about the lie of the land here. Cummings and Gravdahl in 3rd and 4th place at the moment. Schlumpf has also been running very well on both the roads and cross-country at home in Switzerland with a couple of very good runs. So she's really carried on where she left off during the summer, after getting her first major senior medal in Berlin 2018, part of the inaugural multi-sport European Championships, European Athletics Championships in the German capital.
And again there, as you pointed out earlier, Schlumpf took that bend much better than Jan, who ran much further.
Yeah, there's no blue line like you get on road races or major city marathons here, but certainly Schlumpf took the best line. And as you see there, 5,500 metres undergone, 2,800 metres to go. Well, a little bit less now.
And the quickest runner in that last lap was Schlumpf, 4:39. Jan, 4:41. Cummins, 4:45.
Very tight in the team competition between the Netherlands and Great Britain, I think, as well. The British runners have moved up, packing well. So just some familiar names as we flick through there. Well, Roxana Barsa, 4th last year, down in 29th at the moment. I think her medal chances have disappeared over the first half of this race. Well, Schlumpf now taking the lead. With Chan deciding to run out wide on some of the drier parts of the course. But Schlumpf's staccato style seems to be standing her in good stead. And she's taking the shortest line. Chan is running many more metres than the Swiss athlete. There's Chan back in the lead now. Well, it is close. After 4 laps, it is the Netherlands in front by 7 points from Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Now that split was quite a while ago. There's still 2,000 metres of running still to go. There's Burkhardt blowing hard. She's starting to slip back a bit.
And look at that, two Dutch women narrowly ahead of 2 British women. Yes. This is where the team competition is going to be decided.
Just a reminder, 6 to run, 3 to count. Rules have changed prior to summer in 2017, this championship 12 months ago in Slovakia. Prior to that, it was 4 to count, but now just 3. Quickly, any thoughts on that? A good idea or a bad idea?
Well, it opens it up to more teams winning medals, and we've seen proof of that. Yes, I think it is a good idea.
Back to the race, and it's back in front for Fabienne Schlumpf of Switzerland. Once again, taking the lead in front of Yasmin Chan from Turkey. Contrasting running styles, contrasting statures. This is the battle for the bronze medal between Susan Cummins and Caroline Björkli Grovdahl. The Netherlands versus Norway. Well, this is nip and tuck. It's Yasmin Chan's not dominating this race like she's done the last 2 years. She's got a very valiant opponent in Fabienne Schlumpf. She's closing out the top 10 with Burkhardt, Costa and Vastenberg. with Piasecki and Courtney. So Germany, 2 Dutch runners, 2 British runners. Cummings battling for attention from the home crowd. Also, this sunlight, the glare, making it sometimes a little bit difficult to see where you're going in these conditions. So 2 laps to go. But it's still Fabienne Schlumpf and Yasmin Can from Switzerland and Turkey respectively, battling for the gold medal here. Can, of course, the 2-time defending champion. Yes, I'm just being corrected by Mark. Indeed, I think with slight error on the caption there. It's just 1 lap to go, 1,300 metres. Well, there we see confirmation of the standings. Schlumpf, followed by Can. And Vastenberg creeping up into 6th.
And that was a 4:44 lap by the leader, so they're not going any quicker. And I wonder if the other 2 behind them fancy their chances of perhaps closing that gap.
Well, 12 months ago, Fabienne Schlumpf finished in 7th place, no less than 36 seconds behind Yasmin Can. Certainly going to be a lot closer to her this year. Once again, Schlumpf seems to be choosing the wiser line. She's right close to the barriers, while Can out wide, closer to the lake. I mean, Can has probably run, by the end of this race, several hundred metres more than, maybe 100 metres, 150 metres more than Fabienne Schlumpf. So here's the battle for the bronze. Caroline Björkli-Grovdal. Susan Cummins now starting to blow very hard, gulping in the air. There's Yasmin Can in front. Well, with 1 lap to go, the Netherlands in front in the team competition. Just a few points in front of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Well, both Björkli-Grovdal and Cummings now really breathing very hard. Well, Yasmin Can back in front again. And if she does get the gold, she'll have been made to work much harder than she did in 2016 and 2017.
Schlumpf hasn't given up, but we know that Schlumpf hasn't really got a great kick. We saw that in Berlin when she was outkicked for the gold medal in the steeplechase.
Yes.
Grovdal is closing down.
Well, yes, both Grovdal is pulling away from Cummings and really closing down on the 2 in front. Well, she's won the bronze for the last 3 years. Maybe she senses this time, and there was a rather desperate look over both shoulders from Fabienne Schlumpf. So just over 100 metres or so. They've got 1 more turn.
I'm sure Grovdal is thinking, not bronze again, please, not bronze again.
Yes, it's looking now as though the medals will be going to these 3. Yasmin Can from Turkey, Fabienne Schlumpf from Switzerland, and Caroline 50 metres to go. Chan starting to accelerate. Schlumpf looks over her shoulder. She's going to have to settle for silver. And Björkli Grovdal takes bronze again. But gold for the third consecutive year goes to Turkey's Yasmin Chan. So Yasmin Chan, the closest she's ever been run in the SPAR European Cross-Country Championships. A valiant and courageous run by Switzerland's Fabienne Schlumpf. Third again for the fourth consecutive year for Caroline Björkli Grovdal. Susan Crummings, well, best position by a Dutch runner in an individual race so far. Looks like Crummings will get a chance to stand on the podium, but gold in this race goes to Turkey. Well, that's Jip Vasterberg coming through. I make Vasterberg in about 5th or 6th place. There's Elena Burkhardt, Germany. Charlotte Adker coming up very well. Melissa Courtney. Phalanx of British runners now. Just going through the line. Former under-23 champion Jess Piasecki. Maureen Costa. So it's going to be very close between the Netherlands and Great Britain and Northern Ireland for the team title. But the individual title goes to this woman for the third consecutive year. Turkey's Yasmin Chan. 26 minutes and 5 seconds over this testing and challenging and twisting 8.3 kilometre course.
I think the Netherlands have edged it, Phil, because although their third scorer was behind Britain's third scorer, they had 2 in the first 5. So they've gone 4-5-11 to Britain's 7-8-9.
Well, Björkli Grovdal again has to settle for the bronze. She did her best, though. Just wondering whether Björkli Grovdal slightly mistimed her run. She looks as though she's still got quite a bit left in the tank as she crosses the line. Chan triumphs, though, makes it a hat-trick of European cross-country titles. What a terrific run, though, from Fabienne Schlumpf. Yes, second silver medal, following on from her 3,000-metre steeplechase, second place in Berlin. But she's really emerging as a very, very good athlete on the continental circuit.
Yes, and a second silver medal for Switzerland today, after Schlabers in the first race we saw.
And they just missed out as well. I mean, good Swiss female runners coming through at the moment as we see confirmation of the standings. Turkey's Yasmin Chan winning the gold medal by 1 second from Switzerland, Fabienne Schlumpf, and just another second back, Norway's Caroline Björkli Grovdal. Susan Crummings doesn't add to her medals from the under-20 and under-23 championships in years gone by, but an outstanding race from the silver medalist over 10,000 metres in Berlin. And there we see, packing out the top 10, Jess Piasecki. First time in 6 years back in these continental championships. Good run from the British runner. Bit of chat there from Maureen Costa and Jip Vasterberg.
And
I think both will be very happy with their runs.
The first ever team gold for the Netherlands in these championships.
Confirmed, as Mark said, 20 points to the Netherlands. Great Britain, Northern Ireland, 4 points in arrears. Germany, who are having a good championships themselves, take the bronze with 50 points. France, Sweden and Spain close out the top 6.
But to back up what you were saying about Grovdal, she was 9 seconds behind the leader at the start of the last lap, and she ended up, 2 seconds behind?
Yes, I'd be very interested to hear her thoughts on that. My own personal opinion, she might have just left it a bit too late.